Hey, are you curious about how much your favorite influencer earns when they partner with brands? Or are you wondering how to price your rates for brand deals? If so, spoiler alert, you're in the right place because today we're going to be decoding influencer rates to reveal some of the industry's most popular pricing secrets. By the way, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Jay, and I'm the creator of 11th Street Studio Influencer Agency. And I've been helping influencers like you price their rates for brand deals and negotiate brand contracts since 2019. So with that said, I recently launched a new webinar where I share exactly what goes into calculating rates for brand deals in detail, because let me tell you, it is not a one-size-fits-all approach. And in that webinar, I also reveal how to get your hands on my personal influencer rate calculator, because trust me when I say it is a must-have if brands are asking for your rates. Again, I reveal it all in the webinar, so make sure to click the link below this video to join the webinar, because I don't want anyone who is interested in learning how to price the rates for brand deals the right way to miss it. Okay, so like I said, in this video, I'm going to be talking about influencer rates and how influencers calculate rates for brand deals. So regardless if you're a creator on TikTok, an influencer on Instagram, a YouTuber here on YouTube, a blogger, or a podcaster, get ready for some eye-opening tips. So when it comes to pricing rates for brand deals, creators often consider several things when determining their rates. First and foremost, they consider the size of their audience. For obvious reasons, their follower count plays a significant role. So this obviously makes a huge difference in the final rate that they share with a brand. Another factor many influencers consider is their current engagement rate. So how active and engaged are their followers? Brands clearly value influencers with high engagement rates, since this means that their message is reaching a receptive audience. The type of content an influencer creates and the niche they're in are also important factors. So for example, are they in the beauty, food, fitness, or fashion niche? At the end of the day, different niches have different price ranges when it comes to rates for brand deals. The truth is, some niches are simply more profitable than others. Types of brand collaborations and partnerships also play a huge factor in calculating influencer rates. I mean, it's no secret that brands pay influencers generously to promote their products, but each collab is different and can vary in duration, exclusivity, and level of creativity required by the influencer. So those are all factors that determine an influencer's final rate too. Now, you may be wondering how much influencers actually charge. Well, it can range from a couple $100s to, well, millions if a brand is partnering with, like a celebrity influencer. But keep in mind, influencer rates are not fixed and are always negotiated to reflect many of the factors I just mentioned. Okay, so this is why sharing your rates with brands without knowing any details of the campaign first is actually very risky. So for example, if a brand approaches you with a partnership opportunity and a proposed rate for the partnership, before you jump on board, you need to know some specifics, like are they interested in a 30-second short form video or a multi-image carousel post? And does the brand want permission to use that video or images in their paid ads indefinitely or for like 3 months? And do they want everything to go live next month or next week? The truth is, the final price an influencer charges a brand is usually made up of a variety of factors, including the project's final deliverables, any usage rights the brand requests, and exclusivity, as well as a few other very specific details. Like I said, each brand deal is significantly different. And while seeing an initial offer by a brand can be intriguing and even tempting, especially if it's generous, I still always encourage influencers to keep the big picture in mind. If you don't ask yourself, what exactly does this brand want, or what does the specific campaign include, well, the numbers can be misleading. So please always do your due diligence and ask for specifics from the brand so that you can feel 100% confident that the rate you share with them takes everything into account so that you walk away from every brand deal knowing that you've been paid fairly. And as a side note, again, if you need help pricing your rates for brand deals, make sure to watch my free webinar where I share all kinds of pro tips for pricing out brand deals, as well as my personal influencer rate calculator, which is really a game changer when it comes to calculating rates for all kinds of brand deals. Again, the link to join the webinar is in the description below the video. Okay, so before you sign up for the webinar or start frantically Googling how to price your rates, let's quickly chat about some key factors that make up influencer rates. Number one, profile analytics. In particular, your engagement rate. I mean, let's be real. This is pretty straightforward. While two influencers could have the same amount of followers or subscribers, one may only see 10% of their audience consistently engaging, while the other averages, say, 60 or 80% engagement. I really like to compare it to an email list. While the size of a list is relevant, the number of people who actually open, read, and click the links in the emails regularly is far more important. Number two, usage rights. One of the most common brand requests is usage rights. When a brand is asking to use an influencer's work, you can expect the price to be impacted. And number three, brand exclusivity. Exclusivity is when a brand asks a creator to turn down any incoming partnership opportunities from other brands or brands in a particular niche for a specific time period. This happens across all niches, but in all fairness, it happens in some more than others. So the type of brand often dictates whether this is even a concern. So for example, a creator is unlikely to be approached to promote, say, two different automobile companies close together. But that might not be the case with, say, a beauty or food brand. So influencers in those niches will see more exclusivity requests, which again impacts their final rate. Number four, market demand. Now, this is a fairly straightforward concept. When brands show significant interest in a particular influencer, group of influencers or niche of influencers, prices will continue to increase for them as long as there is, market demand for those influencers or within that niche. Meaning, if you're in high demand, that impacts your final rate. Number five, production complexity. Okay, so this is a bit more nuanced. Essentially, it's important to ask yourself if the partnership a brand is presenting you with is simple and straightforward. If not, it's important to raise the final rate. So ask the brand if they have any unique requests. For example, if you'll need to hire others to help complete the project or maybe travel to a specific location. At the end of the day, the more involved a partnership gets beyond standard effort, the more the price is naturally expected to increase. And number six is deliverables due. So as you're aware, final deliverables vary pretty significantly from one brand deal to another. Okay, so while a YouTuber typically has fewer deliverables, for example, maybe a short integration or a full video, a brand partnering with an influencer on Instagram may be looking for some combination of like reels, stories, and maybe static posts. Either way, without knowing exactly what the brand wants in terms of final deliverables, it's unclear what your final rate will be. So make sure it's crystal clear up front so that you can provide them with a realistic final rate. And number seven is product appeal. Now, this is a tricky one. Anytime a brand approaches you, it's important to ask yourself if the product a brand is asking you to promote is particularly appealing, or is it, unappealing. So for example, an influencer's rate may vary significantly based on whether they're being asked to promote, say, a popular meal kit service versus a controversial supplement for, say, weight loss. Typically, the trickier it is to promote, the more the final price is expected to increase. And number 8 is past performance. Okay, this is especially important. As an owner of an influencer agency, I've personally seen it all. Influencers with modest but extremely loyal audiences that will purchase products they recommend in a heartbeat, and popular creators that drive almost zero results. So at the end of the day, I found that the best indicator of future performance is past performance, okay? So if you're an influencer that knows that your audience will take action, you can certainly charge higher rates because you have the numbers to prove it. And number 9 is brand preference. Now, it's worth mentioning that occasionally a brand will approach an influencer that they specifically want to work with, and in doing so are more than willing to pay premium prices to make that partnership happen. And since they often end up paying a premium fee, this can lead to misleading rates, as it's not really driven by true market demand. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so there you have it. I hope this gives you some unique perspective and helps you look at pricing your rates for brand deals a little differently in the future. Can the numbers brands initially approach you with be helpful? Sure, but I hope that you start looking at them with this additional information in mind so that you can make much smarter decisions with your final rates going forward. And before you go, remember to check out my free webinar to discover my proven formula to pricing out your rates for all kinds of brand deals. Okay, that's it for today's video. Now you know some of the influencer industry's best pricing secrets. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about anything I mentioned in this video, please leave them in the comments below. And of course, if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.